G'day adventure lover, thanks for watching. We've got a nice light sea breeze coming in, sort of 4 to 5 knots. So it should be a really nice day to do some ground handling on the beach and do a coastal flight around Ardrossan.
Alright, Aki, I'll see you later.
Got some excited locals watching. Bob and Carol have been really helpful for us. Tied it up okay, but then I got hit by a little sea thermal.
You cow. It's pretty light. I'm going to go again, but I might do a forward launch. It's just a bit too light for a reverse.
Never seem to get perfectly smooth there at Ardrossan. Even when I paraglide here, it's always a bit lumpy. A couple of kids on dirt bikes racing towards where I took off. Probably came to watch the launch, so I thought I'd do a quick circuit over them on my climb out. Oh, look at these shallow sand flats. Absolutely spectacular with the tide out. I've been waiting for the right conditions to fly here for a while. You need a sea breeze really to fly around here. Just do it for safety. I don't want to get blown out to sea just in case the wind picks up. This cliff running along the foreshore is an excellent paragliding cliff. You can launch just in front of where I am now and then fly to the boat ramp right up near those white silos in the distance. It gives you a really good run in the right conditions. And because it's a paraglider and it's quiet, you can fly pretty close to the town without annoying people. Paramotor is a bit too noisy for that. So to pass the town, I'm climbing up nice and high just to minimise the noise. I like to go for around 2,500 feet thereabouts, but there's a bit of a lumpy layer of air, so I'm just under 2,000 feet up. Ardrossan is a gorgeous little town, probably my favourite town on the peninsula. That foreshore is just spectacular with the cliffs, the sand flats. You've got a jetty you can walk out on down there. It is really spectacular. There's a walking trail that runs all the way along the front of the town. There's also a really good pub on the main street, and the Chinese shop has to be one of the best I've been to. The only problem with it is it's not open every day. I'm a regular customer at the Bella Cafe, also on the main street. Lovely little cafe. Those green turf areas in front of the town just behind the cliff might look like good landing options in case of a motor failure, but because they're directly behind a sheer cliff, if there's any kind of wind, there'll be a fair bit of rotor turbulence. So you're actually better off, in my opinion, landing on the mud flats at the bottom of the cliff rather than trying to put down on those turfed areas. The paddocks behind the town would be a much better option, or even better, turn back and land on the beach. I was feeling pretty good this morning when I took off, but as you might know, I'm scared of heights, and when I fly like this, just cruising along, not much going on, not having to do much, my mind has time to wander, and of course I start getting scared. So now I'm having a bit of a battle with my emotions. These aircraft make you feel really insecure because you're totally exposed. You're just hanging by a set of lines. You can't see the wing, it's behind you. You can't see any of your gear. You don't feel enclosed like you feel in an aeroplane. And of course, directly below your feet, there's just nothing. You feel like you're just hanging in the sky. That's really what makes the experience so terrifying, but also so awesome and freeing. Let's check out this ship getting loaded at the end of the Viterra jetty. Don't get too many ships coming in here because the water's really shallow. Apparently this jetty is pretty expensive to use, which is another reason you don't get a lot of shipping traffic. I'm told shipping is more economic at the moment because of the cost of fuel. Trucking things over to Port Adelaide is getting too expensive. These are the Viterra silos. Some of the main industries on Yorke's is the grain industry. They farm wheat, barley, lentils, canola, things like that. During the harvest, trucks run the produce from the farms into these silos, and just behind the silos there's those big flat areas. They're bunkers. Trucks just tip the produce onto the ground in those bunkers, then massive tarps get thrown over them. Piles are enormous. So this is what I came out here to check out, this big open cut quarry. It's a big Dolomite Quarry, and that little mound just where my knee is, that's a public access lookout, so you can drive up there and enjoy the view if you want to. Behind the quarry is this unregistered airstrip. I wanted to check it out because I found it on my aeronautical charts, but it looks like it's not in use. I was driving around trying to find a way to get to it, couldn't find one, and yeah, just looking at it, looks like it's totally overgrown.
Ah, it's lovely. My hands are freezing. I think I need an extra layer. I'm wearing 2 sets of gloves. I think I need a windproof layer over the top just to finish it off. Can't feel my nose. I think paramotoring along the coast like this is nicer than inland flying. Like even with dawn and dusk flights inland, it's a bit dodgy. Yeah, it's just nicer along the coast. I don't like flying the paramotor into any kind of turbulence. It's not really fun. Spectacular, bruh. Absolutely spectacular. Running downwind. Going to turn back just because there's a bit of a cloud bank in front of me. It won't be turbulent. It'll blow inland. But I just want to go past it. Got a nice beach here to land on, so I might drop down a bit lower. Very pretty down here. Or I might go back, see how Aki's ground handling's going. If she's all good, I'll take off and maybe go for another squirt.
This is BHP Beach. There's a little cliff behind it that you can paraglide. It's pretty low, but flew my midi wing along it a few times. This is Viterra campground, bush campsite right on the beach. There's a caravan down there, guy was waving at me. And this is the Whale Memorial Lookout. Climbing up again so I can pass over Ardrossan at a good altitude.
So yeah, when I'm flying past towns, I aim for about 2,000 feet at least. That way, they don't really hear you very much down there when I'm powered on. So a bit of courtesy for the people down there. I've got plenty of glide ratio. I try not to fly over the town if I can help it, so I'm just sticking a little bit out to sea here. Past the town, so I might go into a glide.
This gorgeous little town is Tiddy Widdy, and I'm aiming to land on Tiddy Widdy Beach.
Just trying to see the windsock. Oh, the wind's shifted. It's pretty much due east, so it's going to be a crosswind landing on this beach. Oh well, be a fast one.
Crosswind landings are probably the worst kind of landing because you come in pretty much at full speed, like you would in a nil wind landing, but you also come in crabbing sideways, so you don't land in a straight line. You actually have to crab it in, so you're off your actual track. You have to run sideways when you reach the ground. I'm going to try and spot land right in front of the windsock and the track, and then keep my wing kited. Of course, in a crosswind, that's really hard to do because the wing's going to want to immediately kick into the wind as soon as my feet touch the ground, and that's it. That's at 90 degrees to the angle that I'm flying.
It's light, but it does kite.
Get to Point or not?
I went to Port Clinton and I flew over the quarry, but that cloud front, see that? Might get a bit more turbulence. I didn't want to fly in that, so I thought, I'll turn around and come back. Aki Sanyo, how you going? No good?
Not good.
Oh well, we'll work on it.
You may help me a lot by just confuse my brain.
Aki son needs practice, Des.
I know. And I feel it's
If you don't do it for a while, you forget. So
I know.
You look now, that's gone the same as yours. And that's facing up the same way. That's what's happened to hers, it's gone over like that.
all right, yep, yeah. So that's how it's supposed to be when you're facing it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be twisted.
Yeah, it's supposed to be twisted.
Twisted.
If you're facing away from it, it should be straight. If you're facing towards it, it should be twisted.
Yeah,
So-
you need to bring it
So
up
yours must
and
have
then-
been right then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still something wrong. I feel
Alright.
something wrong.
Okay.
I don't know what it's about.
So I'll show you if you want to move out of the way. See, it's twisted, and then you turn, and it's straight. It's okay. Paragliding's complicated.
Well, it can be if you don't understand what you're doing.
Well, yeah, even if you do, it still could be pretty hard.
Yeah,
So-
but still.
There's a lot to it. All right, I'm going to take this thing off, and I'll come out and give you a hand.
Hey, if you like my content, please pause it here, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And it'll keep me motivated to make more free videos for you. And if you want, check out a few of these other adventures.